Hey Browns fans, this is one of those stories that explodes out of nowhere and takes over every Browns fan's feed like wildfire, and the more you investigate, the more outrageous it gets. Let's get into all the details, so be sure to hit that like button and subscribe as I keep you updated daily. Now, imagine opening your phone, scrolling through the usual offseason speculation, and suddenly, boom, a headline screaming that the Cleveland Browns are in talks to trade for Dak Prescott. Let that sink in for a second. Now, this isn't some vague rumor buried in Reddit threads. This comes directly from Bruce Drennan, a longtime Cleveland sports personality who has been the voice of the Indians and Cavs and now hosts a YouTube show on the Big Play Network. On his show, he dropped the bombshell: the Browns are in active negotiations with the Dallas Cowboys to trade their franchise quarterback. No subtle build-up, no source says, just straight up, Cleveland and Dallas are talking about Dak. And that's all it took. Browns Twitter imploded. Reddit, chaos. Group chats, non-stop notifications. Suddenly, every conversation in the Browns universe was about whether this could actually happen. Could the Cleveland Browns, who haven't had a stable quarterback in forever, actually sign Dak Prescott? Let's pump the brakes, because the truth? This is not happening. Not today, not tomorrow, not in the 2025 offseason, and not in an alternate universe. The chances of this trade happening are not slim. They are non-existent. Zero. Let's break this down, because the reasons are stacked taller than Myles Garrett. First, money. Trading Dak Prescott would slap the Cowboys with a $148 million dead cap hit. That's not just big, that's record-shattering. The current NFL record for dead money belongs to the Broncos when they dumped Russell Wilson, and even that only hit $85 million. This would be nearly double that. In a league where the salary cap floats around $275 to $280 million, this would eat up half the entire budget for one player no longer even on your team. It's not just not advisable, it's financially impossible. But the cap is a myth, some fans say. Even if you subscribe to that theory, and some GMs certainly act like it's true, there's another immovable obstacle: Dak's no-trade clause. The man has full control. And really, be honest with yourself, do you think Dak Prescott, quarterback of America's team, is waiving his no-trade clause to come to Cleveland? Not knocking the Browns, but let's be real, Dak isn't choosing to leave the glitz and glamour of Dallas to come into a quarterback room that's been in flux for years. Still, this story took off. It was too juicy not to. And the media firestorm got so intense that even national insiders had to step in. Charles Robinson of Yahoo Sports checked in with sources in both Dallas and Cleveland. Both sides called it bogus. Jane Slater, who covers the Cowboys, outright shut it down. Ian Rappaport? Same thing. Everyone with access to real information confirmed what logic already told us: this trade is pure fiction. So how did we even get here? There are two theories. First, and most likely, Bruce Drennan made it up. Let's not sugarcoat it. Maybe it was a calculated move to drive clicks and eyeballs to his show. And if that was the goal, mission accomplished. He didn't just light a match, he dropped a whole box of fireworks in the middle of Browns media. For hours, all anyone wanted to talk about was this supposed blockbuster. Flacco? Forgotten. Draft speculation? On hold. All eyes were on Dak. But there's another, spicier theory. What if there's a mole in Berea? Think back to the Combine. Remember when whispers started floating that the Browns were locked in on a quarterback at number 2? It was weird because the Browns front office is notoriously tight-lipped. They don't leak. They don't do media tours. Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski don't have weekly radio hits like Jerry Jones. So when rumors like this pop up, it almost feels like the front office is trying to smoke someone out. Leaks don't happen by accident in Berea. Still, the simplest explanation is probably the right one: this was a fabrication. But it worked. Because here we are, dissecting a non-story that became the story. And while some fans held onto a shred of hope, even going as far as dreaming up hypothetical trades, including swapping first-rounders, throwing in Greg Newsome too, maybe a future pick, those were more Madden fantasy than front office reality. But here's the thing: don't let this whole fiasco make you think Dak Prescott isn't worth talking about. Remove the dead cap, the trade clause, the Cowboys' ownership out of the equation, and just ask yourself, would you want Dak Prescott in a Browns uniform? Forget what it costs, forget the logistics. Just from a talent standpoint, from a pure quarterback evaluation, Dak is easily better than anyone the Browns are realistically putting under center in 2025. Kenny Pickett? Carson Wentz? Flacco again at 40? Dak blows all those names out of the water. And speaking of Flacco, yes, the man who briefly gave us hope, a playoff win, and a return to relevance, there's chatter about a reunion. But according to insiders, that's not likely either. The reality is, Andrew Berry passed on re-signing him when it mattered most, and there's no strong reason to believe that's going to change now. Especially considering Flacco wasn't exactly lighting it up at the end of 2024. So where does that leave us? Once again, circling the quarterback conundrum. The one that never seems to go away. The one that keeps dragging us into off-season soap operas, even when we're just trying to enjoy some peace and quiet in March. Now it's your turn. Drop a comment below. Do you think Bruce Drennan was just stirring the pot, or could there be something deeper going on inside the Browns front office? Would you trade for Dak Prescott, fantasy trade clauses and salary caps aside? Let me know what you think. And as we pick up right where we left off, the conversation around Dak Prescott isn't just a fever dream of a slow news day, it's a reflection of something deeper, something that's been brewing quietly in the hearts of Browns fans for years. The search. The endless, exhausting, soul-stretching search for that quarterback. The one who can not only win games, but anchor the franchise. Be the guy. Because that's what stories like this really ignite. Not just curiosity or disbelief, but longing. As ridiculous as the Prescott trade rumor is on its face, it's still tapped into something very real. Browns fans are tired of waiting. Tired of plugging holes, of praying for serviceable, of hoping the next veteran arm or rookie gamble pans out. Dak represented something bigger than a player, he represented hope. Even if that hope came wrapped in a pipe dream. But let's talk about why this moment is different. Because while Browns fans are ignoring the Prescott buzz, they're quietly realizing that the quarterback market is drying up fast. Russell Wilson? Giants. Aaron Rodgers? Looks likely for the Steelers. And the Browns? Well, they're still sitting alone at the ball, watching everyone else get together. You start looking around, and the options quickly dwindle. Joe Flacco, the folk hero of 2023, suddenly doesn't seem like such a safe bet anymore. He's 40, and as much as we love the Cinderella story, even the best fairy tales end. Re-signing Flacco could not only risk disappointment, but also risk tarnishing the magic of what he gave us last season. No one wants to watch the encore fail. So yeah, when Bruce Drennan lit the match, Browns Nation couldn't look away. Because even if it wasn't real, it was nice to imagine. Just for a second. A quarterback of Dak's caliber. In maroon and orange. Leading the Dawg Pound. Not just for a month. Not for a last-minute playoff run. But forever. If you could pick any quarterback for the Browns this offseason, fantasy or otherwise, who would it be? Comment below. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Go Browns!